Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're talking about success in business. It's a topic that affects almost everyone, whether you're running a company, working for an employer, or simply thinking about your future career. One thing I've always found interesting is that some people dream of starting their own business while others prefer the stability of working for someone else. And honestly, neither option is automatically better. It really depends on a person's goals, personality, and tolerance for risk. But it's definitely an interesting question. Why are some people so determined to become entrepreneurs in the first place?
Yeah, that's something I've wondered about as well. I think one reason is independence. Many people don't like being told what to do every day. They want the freedom to make their own decisions, create their own schedule, and pursue their own vision. For some individuals, building a business is about much more than money. It's about having control over their work and creating something meaningful. There's also a sense of achievement that comes from turning an idea into a successful company. Of course, that's easier said than done.
Exactly.
People often focus on the success stories, but forget about the challenges. Starting a business usually involves uncertainty. There may be financial risks, long working hours, and no guarantee of success. In fact, many businesses fail within the first few years. That's why entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Some people thrive in uncertain situations, while others prefer a predictable income and a clear career path. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with either approach.
I completely agree. Working for an established company can offer advantages that business owners don't always have. For example, employees often receive a steady salary, paid vacations, health benefits, and a greater sense of security. When you own a business, the responsibility can be overwhelming at times. You're responsible for customers, employees, finances, marketing, and countless other decisions. Some people find that exciting. Others find it stressful.
That's true. And I think social media sometimes creates unrealistic expectations. We often see entrepreneurs talking about financial freedom and flexible lifestyles, but we don't always see the years of hard work behind the scenes. Many successful business owners spend years working longer hours than most employees. They make sacrifices, take risks, and deal with setbacks along the way. Success rarely happens overnight. In most cases, it's the result of persistence, discipline, and continuous learning.
Speaking of change, do you think it's easier to start a business today than it was in the past? Personally, I think technology has lowered many barriers to entry. Years ago, launching a company often required significant capital, physical office space, and access to large networks. Today, someone can start an online business from their laptop at home for home. Social media, e-commerce platforms, and digital marketing tools have created opportunities that simply didn't exist before.
I agree. But I think there's another side to that argument. While starting a business may be easier than before, competition is also much more intense. The internet allows businesses to reach global markets, but it also means they're competing with companies from all over the world. As a result, standing out from the crowd has become increasingly difficult. Having a good idea is no longer enough. Businesses need strong branding, excellent customer service, and the ability to adapt quickly to changing conditions.
That's a great point. Adaptability seems to be one of the defining characteristics of successful businesses. Markets change. Consumer preferences change. Technology changes. Companies that refuse to evolve often struggle to remain competitive. On the other hand, organizations that embrace innovation are usually better positioned for long-term success.
Another interesting topic is the difference between working for a large company and a small company. Personally, I can see advantages to both. Large organizations often provide structured training programs, clear promotion opportunities, and access to substantial resources. Employees may have more opportunities to specialize and develop expertise in a particular area. However, some people feel like a small part of a very large machine.
Exactly. In smaller companies, employees often have broader responsibilities. They may be involved in multiple projects and have greater influence on decision-making. That can be an excellent learning experience, especially early in a career. On the downside, smaller businesses may have fewer resources and less job security. So once again, it comes down to individual preferences and career goals.
Something else I've noticed is that people often assume successful companies are successful simply because they have better products. But I don't think that's always true. Leadership plays a huge role. Company culture matters. Customer relationships matter. The ability to build trust and maintain a strong reputation can be just as important as the product itself. In many industries, customers have countless options. What makes a company stand out is often the overall experience it provides.
I couldn't agree more. When we look at highly successful businesses, we usually find a combination of factors rather than a single secret formula. Strong leadership, innovation, adaptability, effective communication, and a clear vision all contribute to long-term success. At the same time, timing and a bit of luck can also play a role. What I find fascinating is that business success is never guaranteed. Even the most successful companies must continue improving if they want to stay competitive. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Success in business isn't something you achieve once. It's something you have to keep owning. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.